Today, I'm going to tell you what I believe is the key to great mental health. What's up, everybody? It's Jason Talley. When people hear the phrase mental health, a lot of times they think of things like therapy and psychiatric wards and medication, stress or anxiety, all sorts of things. But having good mental health isn't as crazy as most people make it out to be. In fact, having not good mental health is a pretty common thing in our world today, believe it or not. Kind of like physical health, mental health requires exercise. It requires diet. It requires growth. It requires intentionality. If I'm being honest with you today, I want to say to you that I personally have dealt with some mental health issues. I've had anxiety before. I've had panic attacks before. And it was because I was allowing all of these things that were going on in my life to really just get to me. And if I recognized later on down the road that if I would actually exercise my mind, that if I would give my mind what it needed, and that if I would block out the things that were not good for me, then I would see better health mentally. I wouldn't have the anxiety attacks. I wouldn't have the fear or the anxiousness. So you've got to exercise your mind. This is with books, with podcasts, with lectures, things that are going to stretch your mind and challenge your thinking. You've got to make sure that your mind has the right diet. What you say no to is just as important as what you are saying yes to. What you say no to is just as important as what you're saying yes to, if really not more important. So just because something's happening doesn't mean you have to be a part of it. I have known people who, just because there's an event going on or because there's an opportunity for them to do something, they have to be involved in everything. When the truth is, you don't have to be involved in everything. Having time away or having time alone is helpful. Finding a time in the week where you just set everything aside, you put your phone away, you put your computer away, you maybe even step away from some folks and just take some time to evaluate the week, to evaluate your days, to evaluate how your life is going. Are you reaching your goals? Are you going where you want to go? You've got to find places where you can just settle your mind. Places where you recognize that you're not going to be bombarded with things in this moment, that you can reflect on things that have already happened, or maybe things that you want to see happen in the near future. Doing this will pay dividends like you would not believe. Now, don't take in every bit of information that you can. Find time and relax and recharge. I know that I said that it's important to stretch your mind with podcasts and with books and all those kinds of things, and that is true. But know this, that if you're not careful, that you'll take in all this information from 50 different angles, and just as you don't know what's right and what's wrong. Find things that you can trust. Find things that you know are true or are in line with what it is that you believe in the core of who you are. Take those things in. Now, I also encourage you to occasionally find things that challenge the way you think, that push you beyond where it is that you are comfortable. Because if you're only reading things that you agree with, or you're only listening to things that you agree with, all you're going to do is keep agreeing with that. And you're never going to have an opportunity to consider any kind of new thought. Have someone that you can talk to that knows you. Now, this could be a therapist. This could be a psychiatrist. This could be a counselor. It could be a mentor or even a trusted friend. Who it is doesn't matter as much as long as it's happening. Obviously, make sure that you trust this person. Don't just give your whole life over to somebody who's going to go tell the world about it. Now, for the key of what I think, the one thing that you could do starting today that will change your mental health for the better going forward. And it is journaling. Journaling! Now, some folks, when they hear that, and I used to be this way, you could feel a bit intimidated, overwhelmed by the idea. What do I write? How often do I write? What's the point if I miss a few days or you stop for a while? You might as well just not do it anymore. It obviously is not for you. All of these thoughts are things that I have either thought or said at some point in time when it comes to journaling. Now, about a year ago is when all of this changed for me. I went through a pretty traumatic experience in my life, and I did start talking to a counselor. I did start trying to process things, and one of the things that she suggested was that I would actually start journaling, that I would write these things down, write down how I felt, write down how I my plan was for the day, that kind of thing. I actually had an old journal that I'd been laying around for years, and I just started writing. Now, I'm going to show you how I journal, but understand that the how of how you journal is not so important. It's really just the fact that you do it. That's what matters. But I want to explain to you and show you how it is that I go about journaling, because this is what's most helpful to me. So I have two journals, a bigger one and a smaller one here. We'll start with the smaller one. The smaller one is actually a Denic, and I actually ordered a bunch of these because I just love them. They're just small, compact, they're easy to have kind of on a side table, and these are just the best journals. One thing that I love about them is the fact that all of the pages, when you get to a certain page, it actually has the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the days across the top. You have an option for a date and then kind of like a title line across the top. And I use this for that purpose. I'll circle what day it is, I'll circle or I'll write down the date, and then across the top I'll just kind of hit some highlights. This is my daily journal. I'm writing this every day. This sits next to in a side table that I have next to a chair where I just spend time doing this in the mornings and reading and that type of thing. And the idea is, for me at least, with this journal, is to project the day. This is what the day is going to hold. This is what I'm doing today. I'm going to work. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm visiting with this friend. I'm going to have dinner here. That type of deal. And if there's something big that has happened in my life in the last couple of days, I might reflect on it shortly. These pages are small. The goal is to hit everything in one page for me. For one page to be the day, and that's what the day holds. Now, I personally have been on a journey to be more thankful. And every single day, whether it be a good thing or a bad thing that I write in this journal, I always write at the bottom, I always kind of sign it off with "so thankful" and then my initials, because I'm just so thankful for the days, and I want to make sure that I have a mind and a heart of thankfulness every single day. So I have this daily journal right here that I write in all the time. You can go to their website and you can grab one of these journals. I actually will put the link in the description, and they are just super great, super not expensive, super cheap actually. And the quality is just awesome. They come with a little bookmark here, so you know where you are in it and everything. So just check these out. I think you'll like it. But that is one that I just really, really love. Now, this journal here, this bigger journal that has been that my dog got a hold of. I'm just going to show you the name of it because I am going to mispronounce it, but it's actually a German name, and it's a 1917, and it is just such a great journal. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I love this journal so much. A couple reasons. This is a dot journal, so the pages are just dots. But what I love is every single page has a page number in the bottom corner. And then in the very beginning of the journal, there's actually a table of contents where you can write down what page is what and what's on what page, which is really, really cool. Now, What I use this journal for is for reflection, for note taking, for goal setting, that type of thing. When I'm going through some sort of a lecture, going through some sort of a podcast that I really want to get a lot out of, this is where I pull this out and I write down my thoughts on it. So this is kind of the bigger journal, and it is bigger, but this is kind of the bigger journal. This is the one that I sit back and I go, okay, what is this book saying to me? What is this podcast saying to me? And what are my goals for the next 6 months? Let me break those down into smaller chunks so that I can, look at them and focus on them and try to achieve them. So that's what this journal is for, right here. I don't write in this every day. In fact, I probably write in it once a week or less. But so it's going to last a lot longer. This one actually has 2 of the little bookmark threads here, which I like, because one I can keep right at the table of contents, the other where I'm at or where I'm wanting to focus on. And it's also got, of course, the little binding thing here that helps to keep it closed. Both of these journals are lay flat journals, so when you open them, they lay flat on the table, which is just so great. These are not those kind of journals that will, like, you have to push down or hold down. Anyway, I get no money out of telling you about these journals. I just want you to know that these are quality, and they're really, really great. And these are the journals that I will use forever, unless something crazy better comes out. But I'm not looking. So anyway, so these are the 2 journals that I use. This is how I use them. I have a daily thing where it's breaking down my days into chunks, and then we have the bigger dog here that we're focusing on bigger things, and we're focusing on life change and mind change and heart change and all of that. These 2 things right here are, I think, the key to mental health, to great mental health. Because when you start small and you start journaling, you start focusing on here's what my goals are, here's where I'm going, then everything that hits you during the day, you've already reflected on, or you're going to be reflecting on, or you're going to be kind of processing. Whereas when you don't do those things, when you don't process your days or your weeks or your months or your years, or you don't process your time and what your goals are and where you're going, then life just kind of tends to push you around. And when life pushes you around, it's hard to have mental clarity and anxiety. It makes sense why you're anxious. It makes sense why you have panic attacks. It makes sense why you have fear, because you don't know where you're going and you don't know where you were yesterday. Journaling, I believe, helps to remedy that, because you're reflecting on yesterday and you're focused on tomorrow. So I'm going to put the link to both of these journals in the description below. You can go down there, you can check them out, you can buy them if you want. Like I said, I don't get anything for that. I just think that you'll love these because they're just quality stuff. But I want you to give it a try today. Even if you have a journal, if you have a notebook, if you have something that you can just take notes on, try journaling. Give it a try. See what happens. Comment below what your experience has been. If you've done this, if you've journaled and you found like some really great things out of that, tell me below. What was your experience? What have you found by doing this? Do you find that your mental health is a lot better through journaling? Like, subscribe, hit the bell. Make sure that you do that. It really does help with the algorithm and these videos getting out there, more people seeing them. And until next time, we'll see you.